Lower the price, bitch. That's too much. White immediately puts themselves in a weaker position here because one of the most basic opening principles is not to insult the seller, making this a mistake. Black hits back with, "Who are you calling a bitch?" question mark. This good move takes advantage of White's weak position and takes control of the game. White's reply is, "The person selling a controller for $80, which is a good move because they've got a point. Inflation is bad, but not that bad, little bro, especially secondhand. Black teaches White a lesson and explains, "Well, you don't get stuff cheaper by calling them stuff. You do know that, right?" Question mark. And I didn't know my mom was speaking. Christ. Black still plays a great move here though, because despite delivering it like a middle-aged woman, this is a solid point. White ends the match with bitch, which is the most simple and effective answer. This move enrages Black so much that they resign the match, taking us to the next one, where White starts to haggle with, "I have a trade for it," which is a book move used by players without money but a stacked inventory. Black hits back with, "What's the trade?" question mark, and this is also a book move trying to see what is on the table. A pair of Jordans, a drill, and a designer BEAIE. Beanie is White's trade offer, and this is the most random collection of items ever. Next thing you know, it's lotion, paper towels, my videos. Anyway, the Jordans and the beanie are kind of normal, but why would they offer a damn drill? This is a mistake because nobody is accepting that offer. Black responds with, "I'm sorry, but that's a no for me," which is a great move, politely rejecting the trade proposal, but White takes these manners as a weakness and says the F slur, which is incredibly unnecessary and a blunder. Calling someone that for not accepting a drill is on another level of psychopathic. Apparently, he wanted another kind of drill. Get this dude a one-way ticket to the mental asylum, and I'll join him. Welcome, Grandmasters and Grandmistresses, to the second edition of Analyzing Facebook Marketplace like games of chess. White opens with, "What's the lowest you'll take?" which is a book move that hagglers use to try and get loot for as cheap as possible, but it rarely works, which is why dumbasses use it. Black replies with, "Lowest I'll go is $700, which is a forced move stating their offer, and it isn't a bad one. White then responds saying $200, which is an embarrassing lowball and an inaccuracy. I get wanting something for $10 cheaper, but $500 crosses the line, bud. I pray that Black doesn't accept this, but my prayers were not answered as Black replies with, "Sure, why not?" And what do they mean, why not? Maybe because it's $500 below the asking price, so this has to be a blunder. Black's scamming themselves here. White advance talks and asks, "Okay, where do you want to meet?" question mark. And this is a good move, entering the final steps of the scam. I meant purchase. Black hits back with 101 Main in Burlington in about 10 minutes, question mark, and holy shit, that delivery time is faster than Amazon Prime. This is surely too good to be true, but an inaccuracy because I'm absolutely baffled that they are selling this for $500 below the asking price. Sounds good. "Hey, I'm here" is White's great move because they are moments away from sealing the biggest scam in history. Cool, head inside is the next move, and on the surface, this looks like a miss because Black is about to finalize a $500 discount and let a lowballer win. However, it is an excellent move because of what it forces. White is forced to ask, "Into the comedy club?" question mark, which is a forced move, setting up an amazing play where Black responds with, "Yeah, period." Then head up on the stage and tell your jokes to somebody else. I have just witnessed absolute cinema. The fact that Black forced White to give up 20 minutes of their time to go to and from the comedy club is ironically comedy gold. We all know that you can do a lot in 20 minutes too. A lot. Brilliant move. Next match, White starts with, "I have $100 for a PS4 right now," and I'll give it to them. They know how to get an offer out fast, but it's pretty shit offer, making it an inaccuracy. Black hits back with, "Wow, now you only need $80 more," which is a cocky way of talking to a haggler, but hagglers are assholes, so who cares? Good move. Black realizes their offer was a bit too low and asks, "Can you take 140? Saddening me as it's another inaccuracy. If you're going to try and get an item for $40 cheaper, then at least say your granddad got run over by a damn Ford Fiesta or something. No is the simple yet powerful response from Black, who is clearly not budging from their $180 listing. This is the best way to deal with a haggler because if you give them an inch, they'll try to take a mile. I want an inch. Anyway, this is a great move. White then crashes out on Black and says, "I got a PS4 Pro, ha, dumbass," which makes about as much sense as bringing a blunder to a lightsaber duel, making this move exactly that, a blunder. Black doesn't take the attitude and asks, "Then why do you need a PS4, buddy?" question mark. It's crazy how the one word buddy makes this question so confrontational and a great move. White replies with, for a gift for someone, idiot. And this is actually a good move coming from the dumbass who played back-to-back inaccuracies. Now Black looks like a prick for thinking people can't buy gifts for others. White is still down a lot of material though, and Black takes advantage of this with, well, keep looking, have a nice day, which is a satisfying checkmate against a not so satisfying marketplace user. Next, White opens with a Pinocchio gambit by saying, is this still available? Question mark. Hi, will you take 30 cash, please? All I've got spare and would really help out a lovely pregnant dog. I just rescue her and she's due pups soon and I have nothing to put her and pups in as I can't afford a lot being single mom, so would appreciate it if you take 30 as it's FIR, a good CORSE. And this might be the biggest lie in human history since Hitler being a bad painter. Very bad guy, not a bad artist. If you're gonna lie for a bargain, at least make that shit believable, dumbass. Blunder. Black hits back with, no, sorry, X, and this is an excellent move. Instead of being rude and telling the liar to shut the fuck up, Black keeps things civil and gives a lighthearted rejection. Apparently, it isn't lighthearted in the eyes of White though, who responds with, are you joking, you disgusting, horrible scumbag? Karma will get you, trust me. And the pictures of you on your profile, you look like a dirty prostitute, no class at all, and your boy looks like a little poof mummy's boy, spoilt brat. I hope to good something bad happens to you and you suffer in pain for depriving a beautiful, innocent, pregnant animal something to sleep in and have her babies in, you heartless, silly little girl that cares more about the money, you greedy, nasty lowlife. You are clearly desperate for the money and need it that much to do that, probably need it for drugs. You look like a dirty skag head, keep it LUV. I found one much better and they will give it for free to help out a animal in need. I wish I could meet you face to face. If I did, you wouldn't face a face left. And I think the animal could write better than this even during pregnancy. The only thing that needs more help than the animal is White themselves after this outrageous move. But not as outrageous as you if you've not subscribed to Text Chest and join the Discord with the link in the description. With that said, it's time for the next match. White starts with the classic opening of Hello, is this still available? Which is the bacon hair of marketplace openings. Book a move. Black hits back with Yes, are you interested? Which is also, you guessed it, the bacon hair of marketplace openings. Book a move. White then decides to open real negotiation and asks, make a trade, and this is a good move that I hear a lot relating to nerds. Sure, what's your offer, is Black's good move in response, but he has no idea what it is coming for him. I'll suck your dick. And this shit got spicy fast. If I was Black, I'd accept it in a heartbeat, and a lot of fellow gooners would too, which is why this is a brilliant move to secure the item for free, disregarding pleasure, of course. Black says nothing and pops the classic 3 laughing emojis, which is a miss as he clearly thinks this is a joke. White replies, does it work good? Bringing things back to the device, which is a good move. It's always safe to make sure an item always serves its purpose. The phone, yeah, is Black's response, which is a forced move answering the question, but White jumps straight to the end of negotiating and assumes their trade is good by saying, okay, WYA, which is an inaccuracy because Black has not accepted the head offer and he picks this out with South Haven, Mississippi. But nah, DATS a shitty AHH trade, laughing with tears emoji, but it really does depend. If she's tropped, then this is a trophy move, but if she's fine, then it's a blunder. Based on the fact that she's on Facebook Marketplace though, she's a chuz, making this a trophy move. Chuz means chopped huz, by the way, not anything racial, of course. White ends the match with, nah, I eat nut, which is relatable because we all eat nut. You and me, and everyone, all of us. However, this doesn't save the match and is a mistake, taking us on to the next match where White kicks things off with, are you still selling the 30-inch TV, which is a traditional book move, but that TV is small compared to mine, and I'm not talking about TVs. Black responds saying, no, sorry, period. I sold it a few days ago, and this is a mistake. Can we normalize removing a listing after selling it? Otherwise we get dumbasses like this who keep it up. It's just inconvenient. However, White still replies with, how about $200, like an actual idiot. I think the unborn babies in my balls have a higher IQ than White after this blunder. It's so stupid because you can't just put an offer forward for a sold item. I'm sure there are plenty more 30-inch TVs where that one came from, so why offer for a sold one? I already sold it, period. Sorry, is Black's next response, which is a good move, but should have been far more aggressive. If I received a marketplace message like this, I would be calling them all sorts. White hits back with $250, and this uneducated asshole just keeps going. After being told twice that the TV is not available, bro still forwarded a low ball. Wait, this is a rage bait. Excellent move. Black keeps feeding through the rage bait and says, I literally do not have it, and you can feel the anger seeping through the screen. Black is pissed, and this is a blunder because the worst way to handle rage bait is to rage. White then closes the game with the fatal blow of, then don't waste my time, which is a brilliant move that makes Black so damn bad that they resign. This was a very good display of rage bait. Next match, White opens with, what's your bottom dollar, which is the airball way of saying, how low will you go, and also, this is a mistake. Black hits back with, I'm only asking 20 bucks. Heck with it, ... I'll play along. What's your offer, ? Why the hell would you give a lowballer any sight of hope? It's bound to be a mistake. White replies with 5, ? Which is cheeky as shit. Dividing an already low price by 4 is outrageous lowballing and deserves nothing more than a blunder. This game's elo couldn't be any lower than that whole number, 5. Black responds, $5, ? Which is finally a good move as they seem to be questioning such a poor offer. Yes, period. I live like 40 miles away. So not only is this dumbass asking for a price lower than 3 minutes with his mom in the bedroom, he's also expecting delivery 40 miles down the road. This is an excellent move though, because if this lowball is a success, then you can't fault it. Black says, yeah, I can do that, period. Can you meet at CHILLICOTHE CVS parking lot about 4:45? Which is another blunder from one of the worst sellers in marketplace history. Or is it? The response from White is, no problem, period. Thanks, ! Followed up by, I'm here, where are you, ? Which is a huge mistake because Black replies with, at home, period. This lowball haggler has been absolutely played and I love it. Brilliant move. The funniest part is that the lowballer had to travel 40 miles and including going back 80 miles for absolutely nothing. That's an hour of time gone to waste. White still has hope and asks, you coming? ? Which makes me kinda sad because this is a pathetic blunder. It's so obvious that they got baited. Nope, ... Go inside and buy a box of tampons, you lowballing bitch! ! Black plays a brilliant move here that puts White in a really weak position. White, who is down by a lot of material, replies, are you f***ing serious right now? ? Who invited ISO Speed to the video? This does nothing to help their losing position and making it an inaccuracy. Black hits back with, afraid so, laughing emoji, which is incredibly badass. Laughing in the face of a haggler after making them drive 80 miles for nothing carries so much aura and is an excellent move. Screw you! ! White misses the obvious move of resigning the match and driving home and instead decides to embarrass themselves even more by playing a miss. Next match starts with 110, which is White's first offer, and this dude is not wasting any time with this book move. I am firm on 120, period. Thank you, period, is Black's polite response, which is also a book move that should have only one of two outcomes. White buys or White denies. However, White decides to choose the third option and says 115, which is a mistake because Black literally said firm. He's acting just like the gooners that watch my video. He won't budge no matter what, but clearly, this dumbass doesn't understand that. Black repeats themselves with, once again, I am firm on 120, period. This is the perfect defense from Black as they are not moving one bit, so I have to call it a best move. 116, 119 are the next desperate attempts from White to get a cheaper price, and this is not Vinted, so why the hell would you ask for a $1 discount? Blunder. Once again, however, Black says 120, and this is surprisingly a mistake. The best move here would have been to resign because this is going about as far as KSI's boxing career. White replies with, I'll buy it for 119 just so I don't pay you 120, and this is a huge plot twist revealing that it was rage bait from the start. White didn't go into the game wanting to win by checkmate, they wanted to make sure their opponent was so angry that they resigned, and I respect it, which is why this is a brilliant move. 125 is the great move from Black, who shows that they have the power in this situation. They have the item, they control the price, they control the match. White gets enraged at this, which is iconic considering they are the one rage baiting, and says, you are a child, which is a mistake like your birth. The number one rage bait principle is to not get annoyed at yourself. White broke this. Black hits back with, says the man who can't understand what firm means. This is a good move that seals the checkmate, but nothing special enough to be ranked higher than that. Next, White kicks things off with, no damage, like new, 150.00 firm price, which is a book move, simply explaining the price. Black hits back with, not to be rude, but why is the price so expensive, ? Is discount possible if don't mind I ask? $80, thumbs up icon, thumbs up icon, thumbs up icon. Hello. If you not need my offer is okay, but the advertise is miss some detail, hoping for improvement next customer, but I sad and Lee cannot rate you more than 1 star reviews. Sorry, wish the best, hope you please fix it for future. This guy threw away the aura of his entire generation there. If you get ignored on Marketplace, it's because your offer is shit, and that is the case with Black, but instead of accepting that, he got mad and resigned with horrible grammar. This takes us on to the next game, where White opens with traditional opening. Is this available? Question mark. If I made $1 every time someone said this on Marketplace, I could probably buy myself an entire Happy Meal. Book move. Black hits back with yes, a forced move in order to sell the item that doesn't really affect their position. Is this brand new? Question mark is White's next inquiry, which is a reasonable thing to say because obviously that would make the item more desirable. This is a good move. Apparently this is stupid though because Black responds with did you read the description? Question mark. And the description said the item was brand new, which means that White is a fucking idiot. I'm revoking the good move and calling it a miss because they missed some vital information. This move from Black is excellent because it calls them out. White replies, bro, ... You just gotta answer me if it's new, ... Why do I need read the description, ... when you can answer me directly, question mark. White blundered here, and not only is this dude a dumbass, but he's an actual ass too. Just read the description, little bro. It's not that hard. This caused Black to resign, taking us to the next match, where White begins with, is $5,000 okay, question mark. My daughter wants to learn piano, and this would mean so much to her, which is sweet and all, but Black has no idea who your daughter is, so why would they discount it, making this a mistake? Black hits back with, this is a Steinway & Sons model K52 that's only 10 years old and in brand new condition, period. Retail price is over $35K, period. And this is a valid response, making it a great move. It really just highlights how shit White's offer actually is. Black isn't done though because they follow up and say you should buy a cheaper brand like Yamashita if your daughter is just starting to learn piano. Which is an excellent move because instead of rejecting the offer and moving on, Black even gives a recommendation which is very sweet. Top tier sportsmanship from a top tier player. White comes back saying, this is my daughter's dream please, I am a single mother, I can't afford it. Classic liar. The amount of liars you get on this app would make you think they make money for chatting shit. They don't even make them believable either, which is why this is an inaccuracy. I'm sorry, but I can't sell you such an expensive item for a quarter the price, period. You can find $100 to $200 pianos or keyboards online if your child really wants to learn, period. Is the reply from the kindest person in the world, also known as Black in this conversation. I have no clue how he's putting up with his lowballing bitch. If they were that poor, why would they seek a high-end piano in the first place? Brilliant move. White closes the game by saying, I will report you to Craigslist, you're a selfish bitch. F*** you, before resigning.